Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight for our Positive Coaching Alliance's Triple Impact Competitor Scholarship Winners. And this is presented by Sagicor Life Insurance. I'm Jody Jackson, your MC tonight. I cover many sports in the Valley for about 20 years, and I feel very blessed to do that. I've covered the D-backs, the Coyotes, the Cardinals. You don't have to go that far back. I was covering the Suns and Arizona State. And I do feel lucky to have been part of so many great sporting moments, including at the high school level. I really enjoyed the days when I would be roaming out on the high school fields. And now as a parent, I have two young teenage children. I see where it all starts. As much as those glorious moments, a World Series or a Super Bowl, it all starts at a very young age with a positive sports experience, and that's what PCA is all about. And that's why I'm very honored to be here tonight with all of you to honor some very special athletes and coaches. And we know our world has changed. That's why we're all here, not in person tonight, because this is always an awesome event, and it's going to be an awesome event here tonight as well. So we really encourage you to bring that energy and enthusiasm, even though we have to be apart. So we want to make sure that everyone gets the recognition that they so deserve. So talking about PCA, well, it's all about better athletes and better people. So many wonderful qualities of this organization. And it helps every aspect of the sporting experience, the coaches, the parents, and the athletes themselves. It's about offering all of the youth in our nation a positive character building youth and high school sports experience. Because as I see in covering sports at every level, it becomes a wonderful thing to watch when you've got the athletes and the thrill of that competition, a better athlete, but then a better person, someone that you can root for, someone who plays the game the right way and makes everyone around them that much better.
Some of the best memories of childhood and young adulthood are created playing sports. It is the mission of the Positive Coaching Alliance to make youth sports a positive experience. Because when that happens, kids play sports longer, they learn core values, and they reap the benefits of a team mentality. PCA wants to develop better athletes and better people. So how does PCA do it? Well, they provide tools and resources for coaches, parents, and athletes through schools and organizations. Never has it been more important for kids to find comfort in playing sports and be welcomed to a team environment. The times we are facing require a hopeful message of fairness, inclusion, and resiliency. Because what PCA proclaims is true. Life is a team sport.
We're going to tell the story of some of these great athletes here tonight. So athletes, I want to let you guys know, don't be afraid to show some emotion, root for each other, cheer. You can actually unmute yourself, take yourself off of mute when we are announcing the winners. And we look forward to that, to try to get some of that energy that we would have in the room.
But first, we want to recognize this year's PCA regional winner and national finalist for the Double Goal Coach Award. Congratulations, Coach Heather Frushauer. She was one of only 25 in the entire country to be named a finalist and is currently a track and field coach at Empire High School. Her upbeat and positive approach makes coming to practice fun for her student athletes and coaches. The mood and atmosphere of the program reflects her personality. She always has a smile on her face and constantly praises their good work, both verbally and non-verbally. Congratulations, Coach Frushauer.
I sure appreciate it. Thank you. I just appreciate everything that PCA's been doing for us and just kind of elevating and uplifting us as well. I guess I got like maybe 2 minutes, and I'll just try and squeeze it into 2 minutes. As a coach, you always just go way too long. But just huge congrats and thank you to my athletes and the administrators and the coaches that help us. Really, I'm nothing without them. They're pretty amazing kids that I get to coach every day. I consider it a pretty great privilege. And we just want, I wanted to maybe just touch on how we definitely, as a double go coach, want to work and make sure we're working on that technique, but those other intangibles, right, we're trying to teach our kids those life lessons that they eventually are going to need, because most athletes don't go pro in the sport, but they actually go pro in something much better. They go pro in whatever they go to college in or whatever they do after high school, and we're part of that. So you can probably, I have two athletes from Empire on here. One of them is mine. She's probably going to laugh, but one of the things that I always ask my athletes is, what is a champion to you? And I'll have like the younger athletes, and they'll say, you know, they come first, or they get the school record, or, you know, they have these amazing things that they always throw out. And my seniors, by the time they're seniors, they're telling me, you know, coach, it's not really about the records, is it? And they'll say, you know, it's really about bringing that positive attitude every day, bringing that to practice, and to make sure that you bring a consistent best effort every day. The results will take care of themselves, and they always do. But I really kind of just wanted to emphasize that this year's senior class, even though we got a shortened, very shortened season, I was so impressed by just our seniors in general this year, overcoming that adversity and learning through that growing that they can do that. And learning that a champion isn't necessarily somebody, again, who puts up, I have an athlete that's going to maybe speak later that could have been the state champion this year, was going for the gold, you know, going for the state, going for the school record, going for the top spot. And yet I know that that athlete is going to take far better lessons onto her future career. We won't necessarily remember our awards, but we remember those lessons as we move through our lives. Anyway, I just wanted to congratulate all the athletes on here, and thanks Sagicor also for sponsoring it and just making it possible. The athletes really put in the time and the effort, and they also put in the great positive attitude, and I really appreciate that. It just makes coaching an enjoyable experience, even though we get to go through and work through hard things together, and we get to grow together. So I appreciate that, and thank you.
Thank you, Heather. Congratulations on getting that double goal coach, because it's so important. And it was interesting to hear your perspective about a freshman versus a senior. And I think that is true, how that perspective does change. So thank you, Heather, for making a difference in the athletes' lives.
Coming up, the young athletes that best exemplify what PCA is trying to accomplish. They play the game the right way, and they lead by example.
A triple impact competitor makes positive contributions on 3 levels. So when you talk about triple impact, it makes oneself better, so personal mastery, makes teammates better, that's leadership, makes the sport better, and that's honoring the game, playing it the right way. And our class of 2020 Triple Impact Competitor Scholarship Program is presented by Sagicor Life Insurance. It's with great pleasure that I get to announce this year's Triple Impact Competitor Scholarship winners. And you guys have already shown that you're capable of action in your future. And we want to celebrate what you've already done, but also what you have coming up. So we have many of our winners here with us today. I'll call everyone out in kind of a lightning round format. And I would love to hear from each of you for about a minute or so to tell us what the scholarship means to you and maybe where you'll be heading in the fall. And so let's get it going. And again, you can be unmuted and celebrate. We'd love to hear that. So here we go from Arizona College Prep. And there is a look at Owen, our Triple Impact Competitor Scholarship. Owen, congratulations. Let us know what the scholarship means to you and where you'll be going to school in the fall.
Yeah, this scholarship means a lot. It means that you're an excellent leader and a mentor and a role model for your teammates. When your teammates look up to you, they look up to you during practices and they depend on you when you're in a game or in a match. And then your leadership really paves the way for younger teammates because they look up to you. So I also plan to attend ASU in the fall for architecture, and then I'm hoping to minor in project management, hopefully.
Wonderful. Congrats. That's awesome.
Thank you.
All right, up next from Catalina High School, ALMUSTAFA. Kusei, again, congrats, track and field, and let us know what your plans are for the fall, as well as maybe what's the biggest life lesson that you've learned from sports?
It meant a lot because I always want to make my coaches, family, and my friends, especially my teammates, happy with what I do, of being a leader. And yeah, I will attend the UFA in the fall. I'm planning to take computer engineering, and looking forward to play track at the UA.
Terrific. All right, so we've got a Devil and a Wildcat planning so far, 2 out of 2 right there, and both with terrific career aspirations. All right, up next from Chandler High School, Bart's alma mater there, Luke Bass. And we want to congratulate you on this great accomplishment, Luke, Chandler High School. Luke, congrats. What are your plans for the fall? And you've played organized sports for a long time. I'm curious, what would you say to sports parents or youth coaches today?
So for this fall, I will continue playing baseball at Lewis and Clark College. It's a small liberal arts school right outside Portland, Oregon. And I will plan on majoring in biomedical or chemical engineering. I'll see where that takes me. And one of the biggest things that I would tell youth baseball players or youth parents is just enjoy playing the game, because the time goes by so fast from being a youth baseball player and spending time with your teammates, your parents, your family at the games, watching it professionally and playing it during your youth, but everything just goes by so fast. And it's just a lot of fun. It's a great ride. So that's one big thing that I would tell parents and players who are starting to play right now.
That is great advice, Luke. Thank you for that. And congrats. All right, up next from Arizona College Prep, we've got Emma Bird. Congratulations to you. And we know you had a great experience at Arizona College Prep. And so we'd like to know what it means to you to have this scholarship and what your plans are for the fall.
Thank you. The scholarship represents everything that my coach, Coach Orr, had instilled in me and my fellow teammates ever since 7th grade. And she followed the ideology of John Wooden. So it was a lot of the similar concepts. And the scholarship also, I just feel like my leadership, I got to talk about how I felt I was more important to the team in some aspects, in different aspects than other people. And in the fall, I'm going to be attending Arizona State, majoring in psychology, hopefully becoming a genetic counselor.
Wonderful. Congrats. Round of applause.
Thank you.
We've got our next triple impact competitor scholarship from Empire High School, and that is Isabel Cordova. Isabel, we want to congratulate you. A couple of questions for you. What's the most important lesson you've learned from sports, and what are your plans for the future?
So from sports, I've always learned that you have to be ready to adapt at any given moment. So especially with track, you never know, maybe last minute you might need to be put into an event because somebody else is hurt, they're not feeling good, so you have to kind of take over. Or you just have to take over for different events. You never know what's coming, even though you have a set event list for that day, but you just gotta be ready to adapt, learn to work with other people, and yeah. And in the fall, I'm planning on going to NAU for health science with an emphasis in public health.
Terrific. I love that advice. Be ready. Congrats.
Thank you.
I think I just realized maybe I'm drowning out the applause when I talk, so I will try to stop that. From Isabel, now we go back to Arizona College Prep, which we have our next winner, Elias Jones, number 16. Elias, what are your plans for the fall, and how can sports better prepare athletes for, after sports and just life in general?
Yeah, so my plan for the fall, I'm going to go to Arizona State University to major in sports business. And so I'm very excited about that. And then sports, how it can affect your life and really just change you as a person. I played sports for a very long time. And I think that almost everything I've learned about how to be a good person, how to time manage, how to like balance things, I learned it from sport. The lessons you learn on the field, off the field, from amazing coaches, from teammates, it can take you anywhere. So I think that if you take the right steps, if you learn the right things, then sports will take you far.
Nice.
Awesome, Elias. Great message as well. All right, on to Phoenix Christian High School. Our next scholarship award winner is MILGRIM, softball player, Phoenix Christian High. And so can you just expand a little bit on leading by example, and what are your plans for the fall?
Leading by example to me is just like showing up to practice on time and just like doing your best in everything you do and working hard. And in doing that, you are leading your teammates and also the younger underclassmen and everything. And so my plans for the fall are going to Arizona Christian University, studying music and an emphasis on worship.
Wonderful, Mei-Ling. Congratulations again. And now from Bradshaw Mountain High School, we have CAITLYNN NEAL. CAITLYNN, there she is pitching for Bradshaw Mountain. CAITLYNN, what are your plans for the fall? And you talked about the importance of putting team first. What does that mean to you?
So I plan on attending the University of Nebraska. I'm not sure what I'm going to study yet, but I'm excited to go there and kind of figure out who I am. And it's just important to put your team before yourself, because you can't play the game without a team. Like, you need other people to have your back when you're down, and it's just important to have them there for you the way that you're there for them. And yeah.
Very well put. Congrats.
Congrats. Go Huskers.
Yeah.
Great insights there from our scholarship winners. When we come back, we'll hear more about their high school experiences, what they've learned, and what the future holds.
Okay, our next scholarship award, from Perry High School, AJ Owen. We're gonna take a look at AJ. Love it, great pose, AJ.
Thank you.
Let us know your plans for the fall, and then what is maybe the biggest life lesson you've learned from sports?
Yeah, my plans for the fall is I'm gonna go to Ripon College. That's in Wisconsin. It's P3. I'm gonna continue playing football, and I'm gonna study sports management, as well as possibly maybe going to law school in the end. And it was life. So my biggest with sports, made to me is not only friendships and connections, but adversity. My sophomore season, I lost one of my best friend, Braden Mason, in a tragic accident at a lake. And I never thought I'd play college football, let alone continue playing football. And losing someone like that in my life just really showed me how sports can help me recover from that, and was there for me to release my anger, as well as my just everything, release my emotions. And sports just really changed my life in that aspect. And that was probably how sports has helped me the most.
Awesome.
Thank you for that, AJ. You found a lot of strength, and that's terrific through a very, very tough time. Congrats to you and best of luck. And we want to congratulate our next winner from Arizona College Prep, Tyndall Wiegand, the sport of volleyball. And Tyndall, congrats once again. What are your plans for the fall? And tell us why sports can be so valuable in teaching us how to handle adversity.
Okay, first off, I just want to say thank you for the opportunity. I'm honored to be here. I will be attending Cornell College in the fall. It's in Mount Vernon, Iowa, and I will be continuing my volleyball career there and hopefully studying politics, pre-law, and Spanish. And in regards to adversity and sports, I would say it's great in the shared values that your teammates have and that ability with integrity to continue to show up for your team regardless of the circumstance and to continue to portray a strong character.
Great job.
Great message. Something we can all really learn for, not only in sports, but in life as well. Thank you, Tyndall. Now we go back to Empire High School. Our next winner is CELINE Pacheco. CELINE out on the field for the Ravens. Congratulations. And we'd love to hear from you, CELINE, on what your plans are for the fall. And, you know, you talk about succeeding in sports. It's not just about being good at the game. What did you mean by that?
Hi, thank you. In the fall, I'll be attending Milwaukee School of Engineering. It's a D3 in Wisconsin. I'll be not only playing softball, but trying to get a degree in industrial engineering. And succeeding not only at the sport is succeeding as a person, succeeding as a friend is being an all-around better individual for my teammates. It's being someone they can lean on and go to when they're struggling with not just sports, but life in general. And that's what I mean as succeeding off the field.
That's wonderful. Thanks, CELINE. So many engineers, by the way. You guys are incredible. I love it. Just a lonely old broadcast journalism major over here, you know, no math classes for me, but that's terrific. And all of you, I just know you're going to succeed in anything that you do with what you've been able to accomplish so far. And now from Willow Canyon High School, Una Rosales from the Dysart School District, Willow Canyon. Una, congrats. And we'd love to know your plans for the fall and why is a positive attitude so important?
Hi guys. So my plans for the fall is to go to GCU, and I am planning to major in nursing with a focus on nurse informatics. And I feel like the reason why you should have a positive attitude in sports is because it teaches you initiative. So as long as you go into everything with like a great attitude, then there's nothing you can't do.
Terrific. Thank you, Una.
Thank you.
Okay, now we've got from Deer Valley High School, Sarah Ross Kelly, another one of our triple impact competitors in action. We have a couple questions for you. Again, we'd love to know your plans for the fall. And then what's the greatest lesson that you've learned from sports, Sarah?
All right, so my plans for the fall are to go to BYU in Provo, Utah. I'm planning on studying occupational therapy. The biggest lesson that I probably learned from sports is probably just perseverance, to just keep going. Even when you're down, I always strive when I'm in sports to be an example to my teammates. So even if we're losing or if we're just not playing our best, to just keep trying and keep going. Because there's been many instances when I thought I was out of the game when we've got it back through teamwork and just working together. So working together and perseverance is probably the biggest lesson.
Wonderful. Sarah. All right, from Sarah, now we go to our next triple impact competitor, and it's Taylor Rotenberg, Cactus Shadows High. And we want to know from you, Taylor, what are your plans in the fall as well as your message, and what do you think was important about sports teaching you about leadership?
So in the fall, I'm going to be cheering at Tulane University, double majoring in math and legal studies and business in hopes to be a sports agent. And in regards to leadership, sports taught me that it's not just about you, and that in order for your team to do well, you have to make your whole team want to work together and make your whole team want to do well for themselves and for each other. And it taught me how to bring groups of people together that may not get along, may not want to work together, but for a bigger cause and for a brighter future.
Great, Taylor.
Awesome.
Thank you for that. And now, last but certainly not least, from Arizona College Prep, Krista Rowan. I love the hashtag, by the way, life is a team sport. Never are we learning that more than right now. But, you know, Krista, we'd like to know from you. What are your fall plans? And then what would maybe be your advice to parents who have young kids playing sports?
So for me, I'm going to GCU as well in the fall, and I'm going to be playing beach volleyball there and studying sports management. And then I think that the advice that I'd give to parents for younger athletes is just to like support them no matter what, and just let them do like what they want to do, and just let them have fun, let them work hard, but don't push them past their limits, because I think that it's really easy for young athletes to get burned out because it's like they're just going through the motions and don't love it anymore. So yeah, thank you.
Big round of applause. And you know what? You know what else? I see so many family members there. It's your parents, maybe it's a sibling, a grandparents, I don't know, but let's give them all a round of applause as well. Parents are such a big part of this. Love to see that support. Such great messages from all of you, and you all have such amazing plans. It makes me want to go back to college, actually. It's just such an exciting time in your lives, and we wish you all the best, but we're not done yet.
Up next, he's one of the most dynamic speakers in the country. We're lucky to have him in the state of Arizona, and he's a big supporter of Positive Coaching Alliance. Arizona State head football coach Herm Edwards joins us next.
We have got a great guest right now, a man with quite a resume after playing and coaching in the National Football League, and also a member of the media, a faculty member at Cronkite School, and the head coach of the Arizona State Sun Devils. With that, we want to bring up a man who is really exemplifying so many of the qualities of the Positive Coaching Alliance and has been a big supporter of everything PCA does, working with student athletes and the parents for many, many years. So with that, Coach Herm Edwards, the head coach of the ASU Sun Devils.
Thank you for the introduction, and I would like to congratulate all the student athletes. I was just sitting in the background and listening to some of their comments, as well as the family members, because it takes a team to achieve what these young people have done thus far in their careers. I wish them much success as they go into college. I can actually remember when I went to college, how excited I was, and how the parents all of a sudden have to let the kite fly a little bit on its own. But as we know, children are a sum of what parents contribute to them in their lives. And this is a great group of young athletes that have been on this screen that I have listened to for the last couple minutes or so.
So Coach, with that, and kind of, you touched on it, but it's a unique time in our world. You know, we're all going through something that has not been seen in our lifetime. So it's unprecedented for life, and it's certainly unprecedented for athletics. So my question for you is, what is your message to the 2020 Triple Impact competitors as they do journey off to college?
Well, I would tell them this, is as much as we think we control what we do every day, we found out we really don't. And I think this time period in our country with the virus, with the social movement that's going on as well, it's given us a lot of time to sit back and pause and reflect. And I think at times we think things are given, and they're really not. We are blessed. We are blessed every day to be able to get up and go about our lives. Now, our lives have changed tremendously for everyone. Whether you're an athlete, a non-athlete, the way that we have to do our business now is not so much about us personally, it's about the people we may affect if we don't do things right, especially with the virus situation. The other side of it is the social unrest that our country is going through. I witnessed this. I grew up in the 60s. It's different though now. It's a lot different than what in the 60s. It's a movement of young people, a lot of young people. And when I see it, I smile because it's going to take that. It's a big rock. I would challenge all these students that are going away to college I would give them this challenge as student athletes. As an athlete, when there are times that injustice or racism appears, don't stand silent. Do not stand silent. You have a platform and you have a voice. And with that voice, make sure that you're the voice of reason and that you have solutions so we can move America forward. Because this is the greatest country ever assembled. And we have growing pains right now. And you don't realize this right now, but one day you will be fathers and you'll be mothers and you'll have children. And if you do it right, you'll make this country better for your children. That's how it works. It's more than athletics, and I know you folks know that. You can make a difference in people's lives. You want to make sure you understand that. Sports eventually ends. It comes to an end for all of us. And generally not on your terms. It just comes to an end. But what did you do in sports to make the game better that you played? And what did you do with the people that were on your team to allow them to become better because they were in your presence? That's very important.
Great advice, Coach. An athlete that's making themselves better, their teammates better, and the game better. I mean, whether you see kids that have come in and maybe they've heard about PCA or maybe they haven't, but how important are those three things?
Oh, very important, because those are the standards of sportsmanship. Those are the things that true competitors understand. You want to leave your mark, on sports. I've always said this: if the game is not better because you played it or coached it, you failed the game. You've actually failed it. Because as much as the game will give you, what will you give back? We all reflect the sports we play. And when people watch you compete, as you just said, about me, the perception is I'm this fiery guy. And I am to an extent, but I also understand there's this calmness that has to be inside of you. And when that is shown, people understand that. They look at that and go, okay, we're competing, but this sportsmanship and this calmness of I'm in my element. People always say, well, tests are hard if you don't prepare. Sports is hard if you're not prepared. If you're prepared, it's kind of fun. It should be fun. The preparation is the hardest part about any sport. You will practice more than you actually play in an event. Whatever event these athletes are involved in, you are going to practice more. You're going to put in more time when people are not watching you than you actually do when you go into the arena. That's the preparation of it all. And if you're willing to do that, the game is fun. The game is easy, right? It's all that other stuff you have to do. That's what makes sports so unique. You have to enjoy being an athlete. The greatest thrill an athlete has in any sport, they expose themselves. They're not afraid to go into the arena. That's why I enjoy athletes, all sports. Any athlete at any level, it doesn't matter to me. It says something about who they are when they're willing to go into the arena in front of fans and family and all who watch and expose themselves. It takes a strong person to do that, to be quite honest. Everyone says they want to do it until they have to go do it.
The lessons that PCA is out there preaching, making sports a positive and a character building experience for all kids. How important is that right now? And I think we're talking about in the context of everything's a little chaotic. Sports is still super competitive. You get some parents that are super competitive.
There wasn't clown that thing, helicopter. They live with their children. Oh,
yeah,
boy.
you know how it is. So, but PCA, they want to channel all that energy into a positive way. And how important is that right now?
Well, I think PCA figured it out. And I don't mean to downrate sports in any manner right now, but I've been involved in it my whole life. If I didn't have sports in my life, I wouldn't sit here today. I'm indebted to sports. I'm indebted to the game. I really am. Of all sports. My daughters play volleyball. They're swimmers. I got two daughters, 14 and 13. And I want them to compete, but I also want them to have fun. And I'm the parent, being a coach, right? I'm the parent that actually goes to events and I sit in the last row. I don't talk to the coach. I just watch my child perform. That's all I care about. I don't want to coach them. I want nothing to do with it. I don't put pressure on them. I just ask them, whatever you have, make sure you leave it. You leave it on the field. And that's all you can do. Because in life, and I say this, I never had a job. I've always been an athlete. And then when I decided not to be an athlete, I was a coach. And then I got really smart and I went on television and I talked about sports. And then for some reason I went crazy and came back to being a coach. So I've never really had a job. So think about this. This is where sports is in life. You don't realize this now when you're young. It's in the toy department. It's in the toy department. You understand me? You go in the store, go to the toy department, and sports is right next to it. All right, as important as it may be, and it took me out of the neighborhood where I grew up because I had to earn a scholarship if I was going to college. All right, but it's in the toy department in life. It's a part of your life. It can fulfill your life. It can provide you a lot of opportunities. But in life, it's in the toy department. And if we understand that, we'll be okay.
Coach, you kind of talked about something about, you mentioned 30 years ago, you would have never known what you, or where you are now, and that you'd be doing this. But how about this question? What you know now, or what is it that you know now that you wish you had known when you first started coaching?
Oh, that when you're a player or when you're a fan, or when you're a parent, you always think you know more than the coach. And you don't. You do not. You don't know more than the coach.
I see the parents laughing. I love it.
You have this, you assume that I know. You don't know. You have no idea. You have no idea the time that coaches put in to their athletes and the things they're trying to coach. And I'll challenge them this way. You think you're a coach? Go be one. Because when you're a coach, everyone thinks they know your job better than you. And everybody got an answer. They all got answers. Why don't you do this? You should play him over there. Oh, she should be doing this. They all got answers, right? They all got an answer. The answer is this. They're smart enough not to be a coach. That's the answer. Because everybody can do your job better than you, they think. That's what I learned about being a coach. And that's why I don't listen to the people in the stands, because if you listen to them, you'd be sitting with them. Just coach your team, coach your athlete. Very important to do it that way.
Well, Coach, that's a great segue, because I don't know about answers, but we want to know if any of these athletes have any questions. Do any of you guys have any questions for Coach Edwards? AJ, I see your hand going up. AJ Owen.
Yes. So, Coach Edwards, I'm a huge fan.
What position you play?
I play free safety, DB.
Wait a minute, man. You're too good looking to play safety. Oh, you tackle anybody?
Yes, sir. I was a wrestler as well. I love contact.
You know my favorite player now.
Case Hatch?
Oh, I mean in pro football.
Oh, not sure.
John Lynch.
Mm-hmm.
I coached John Lynch. He was good looking like you. He's a good tackler on that. What's your question?
I appreciate that, Coach. Thank you. Well, as my question is, as a football player and as a person that always had to work hard and keep working and all that, when I love, I got a pair with Kate. He graduated before me, Case Hatch.
Yes.
And I love the video of you giving him that scholarship. So my question to you is, how does that get presented? Like, what do you look for when you're giving those out? And
Okay.
Yeah.
First of all, that he brings an element to your team, and Case Hatch does that. He brings an element of, first of all, he's a little older than guys. He brings great leadership qualities. He'll do anything you ask, and he has passion for the game, right? And every year that I've been here thus far, I've given out scholarships to walk-on guys. And I tell them that. We have some walk-ons coming in this weekend. And the story I'm going to tell them, if you earn it, I'll give it to you. And we've given out 3 full-time scholarships already for the 2 years that I've been here. And Case is marvelous. Yeah, he's special teams captain the whole 9 yards. I mean, he's going to help us a lot on offense. But you could tell right away when he got here that he was going to leave his mark. So he's a quality young man. He really is.
Thank you, Coach. I appreciate it.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right.
Anybody else with a question? Elias.
Coach Edwards, I have a question. So if you're not a player or a coach, what are ways to get involved in sports?
Well, you could be a broadcaster, right? You could get on the side of it. If you got into college ball, it would be, if you wanted to be a coach, you could be a GA, right? And that's how you climb up the ranks if you want to do the coaching part of it. There's other ways if you want to go on the administration part of it. If you love sports, there's ways you can still be involved in it without being an athlete, right? Because all those positions are important. If that's the road you want to travel along with your studies, nothing wrong with that. I would impress upon you to go do it. Because you still enjoy, if you still have passion there, that's a way to fill that void a little bit, right? The question I got one question. Where is my girl? I forget her name because I was listening to everybody, but all I can remember was this. It's 108 degrees here, and she said, I'm going to Nebraska. And I want to tell her this. I've been to Nebraska. On December 1st, tell me how you like Nebraska.
That was CAITLYNN.
Where's CAITLYNN? I love you, CAITLYNN. Where you at, girl?
I'm right here.
Come here. On December 1, I might be sitting in my office. I don't know what you're going to be doing. When you look outside and you go, woo. I just want you to remember, Coach Edwards told me it was going to look like this.
Insulated workout pants.
Hey,
that's what I'm going to need.
Good for you. If you can go introduce yourself to the head football coach.
Okay.
You tell him, I told him to introduce yourself. I know it. He's a good man.
Yes, sir.
I like it up there. Good for you.
Awesome. All right. You guys have been awesome. And Coach, we really appreciate that. Such great words of wisdom right now. I think we're all just looking for these positive bits of advice, and for especially at this wonderful time in their lives.
Yeah,
for all of us.
It is a wonderful time, and enjoy it. And your parents and your loved ones had a lot to do with it, and don't forget them because they're proud of you. And every time you walk into the arena as an athlete, you're representing your family's last name, and that is the most powerful possession that you can ever obtain from your family is your last name. And now you get to carry that name on to college. You can make your impact. Whatever university you go to, don't lose sight of that because that's important. That becomes a part of your legacy. And it's very, very important. And continue to trust in your hopes, not in your fears. And God bless you all, and good luck to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. Whatever we can do here to simulate being in a room together, but once again, thanks everyone. Like you said, Rich, to Herm Edwards, Mike Neely, Bart Catmull, and to you, Rich Comey, and all of you athletes. We wish you all the best going forward. Have a lot of confidence in what you're going to be able to do in the future. And like Rich said, look forward to hearing from you, continuing to hear from you down the line. Have a great night, everyone. Thanks again for being here.